Very short intro there, John. I
Very.
guess
I didn't even see it happening.
it was very quick. But anyway, welcome to our Let 'em Run Happy Hour today on Friday, which is a little bit earlier than we anticipated. Normally, our happy hours at 3 o'clock. Let 'em run. I'm Freddie Bro York. Pleased to have John Costin join us, traveling to Vegas. John, once again, earning your title as the traveling handicapper. Definitely sticking with you. Sorry to hear there was a delay. That's why you were able to join us today. So, what's going on, John?
Yeah, we're supposed to be in the air right now, but flight got pushed back till 5:30 now. So 2.5 hour delay. Not good.
Well, that's we'll take up a little bit of your time for the show. So, again, I mentioned before you and I were talking before the show. Good news, bad news. You mentioned, well, there is no good news.
There's no good news. Because
That's
I'm not
true.
prepared for Turfway right now. That
No,
was going to be
well,
on the plane. I was going to study Turfway.
okay. Well, listen, I'm sure that there'll be more insight to come from you, John, for tomorrow. Let's talk a little bit about our guest. We're anticipating Ed Derosa, who's Vice President of Product and Market Development for Horse Racing Nation. He's been on our show before. He's a good friend of John's. He's become a friend of the Let 'em Run show. We appreciate it anytime he comes on. I know he's in New Orleans right now. Things have to be busy down there, John, right?
Yeah, I would think he's tied up. That's what happens. He gets distracted on work stuff with his boss, and the next thing you know, it's half hour later, and then he realizes. So I know he's on another show at 3:30.
Yeah.
That's why we had to move him up to 2:30 to make it convenient, so we could get him on the show for at least 20 minutes talking about his Turfway. And I know he's so well prepared for this.
Okay.
So we need his insight. Hopefully he could join us. And I haven't heard either way what the issue is, or let's just hope
No problem.
he comes on soon.
Well, certainly his insight would be tremendous. Obviously, I know you guys have been doing some very deep handicapping at Turfway Park for some of the LFG races, or the LFG group that you're with. They're getting into some Turfway Park races. I know you guys have a good feel for how the track sets up, inside, outside, speed, etc. So we hope we get Ed on. Ed's a very busy guy. We know he's got some good insight into what's going on in these two prep races tomorrow. The BRISnet, which is a Oaks race for 50 points, and the Jeff Ruby Stakes race, which is 100 points to the winner. Before we get to that, let's cover a little bit of housekeeping. Certainly like to thank our sponsors once again, the Vape Shop and Cases Pork Roll, our good friend Tommy Dolan. Certainly they've been with us, as John also mentions often, from the very beginning. And our new sponsor, BRISnet.com, the Handicapper's Edge. And certainly they have an edge. We talk about BRISnet quite a bit on our shows, on our Monday and Wednesday shows. Last Monday, Bro was back. Bro was back, John. Bro had a horse that actually wired the field and held on and paid $9.20. So maybe I'm back. I hope that momentum carries over into the weekend, John.
Yeah, we got to see you produce it 2 times in a row. One time is not enough. We need some winners here, Fred. We got to provide our guests some good information.
Well, I'll tell you what, I have some things I want to talk about right now about Turfway Park. Before we get into Turfway Park, I do want to just send our condolences and our thoughts out. We lost a legend today, Chuck Norris. So many things he was involved with, more so than the total gym, which is what we know about in my business as a physical therapist. We have a couple total gyms, but certainly Chuck Norris, a legend. Also, from what I understand, also was into horse racing as well. Certainly, another one gone but not forgotten. So God rest to Chuck Norris. Okay.
Yeah, one of the great movie stars and martial arts guys that grew up watching and know
Sure.
him. So all the best to his family, and Godspeed to him.
Yeah, when you think of martial arts, I think of Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris. Those two guys are the only two guys I think of.
Yep, the only two I know.
Okay. Got some comments here. I don't see who this is from. Sean Miller, Walker, Texas Ranger. Of course, Sean Miller. That's good to know.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that's right.
I said the stupid thing, Total Jim, him and Christy Brinkley, but I guess that's where my head is. But anyway, Sean, right. Thank you, Sean. The Walker Texas Ranger show is Sean Miller, who is the head of what we do here with Florida Sports Talk Media and Capital Sports Talk Media, Capital Sports Network, and handles all the stuff we write that we put into Florida Sports Talk. Sean, appreciate all the help he does with us. So let's talk about Turfway Park. The first race we're talking about is the BRISnet. It is a mile and a 16th on synthetic, which is a little bit not unusual, but it's what they do, just kind of different. Last year, the winner of the race, not the BRISnet, but I'll talk about when we get to the Jeff Ruby Stakes. Well, there's a couple horses that I really like in here a lot. And one of the big ones is, hold on here, what happened here? Yep, there we go. Sorry.
Fred, this is a happy hour, right? Is this okay? This is happy hour right now?
No, John, it's not okay. Well, you need a happy hour. You might have a couple of hours of happy hour going on. Hey, John, hopefully you get out of here soon, or at least not until 5:30. So
they got moved up.
how do I get that off of there? I don't know. Anyway, the technical difficulties here. Okay. Anyway, there he goes. Okay, we're back. So there we go. Now we're back. Okay, I'm going to hide that. I'm going to show this. I'm going to hide it. It's supposed to hide it. Let's go. Hide it. Anyway, okay. Right there it goes. Race 11 at Turfway Park. The horse I really like, John, is the 8-horse Blesser, being ridden by Johnny Velasquez. First time on synthetic. Not only did she like it, I think she liked it a lot. Won by 6 lengths. It was a maiden special. She's only one of 2 maidens in the race. The other maiden is a 6-horse. I don't think that horse really has a chance. I like this horse a lot as a closer in this race. Has the highest U.S. time form closing pace figure in this race, which I think has some bearing because my research and looking into how these races are running, maybe you can talk about this a little more, John, because you have some more contacts or some more experience at Turfway Park. Speed doesn't hold up too well. Closers do well. Blesser at 8-1, ridden by Johnny V, and Grand Motion putting Johnny V on for the first time tells me that I think Grand Motion knows that he has a horse. And at 8-1, I'm going to take a chance on this horse. This horse also has the highest last speed figure rating from BRISnet as well. So you put that all together, second time on synthetic. John, do you think we can expect improvement out of a maiden running in a big race like this second time? It's his 4th race of her career, but she's just broke her maiden last out at Turfway Park. First time by her speed figure went from a 56 to a 79. I like this horse a lot, John.
Yeah, definitely.
How do you feel about that horse?
Yeah, second time synthetic. You got to like that. Been the distance 3 times, 2 times in a row. This is the 3rd time. Grand Motion is, putting Velasquez on for a reason. So definitely, I like the closing. I like that because there doesn't, it looks like enough. I don't know. I'm looking through the field now, and there's
one is the other horse I like.
The pace. Yeah,
that's
the pace horse.
That is my second choice at 5-1. That horse has pace written all over it. The lone E. Loves the rail, been on the rail twice, has won twice from the rail at this distance, at a mile 16th at first and a mile last time out, but on synthetic, both times at Turfway Park, both times on the rail. So the horse very familiar with the rail, likes the rail. Morning line at 5-1. There also is some other speed in here that probably, but like cheaper speed. The 6, like I said, might have some speed. There's certainly the 7. A maximum offer can show some speed, has some pace. I think there's enough speed for this horse to catch a nice spot behind the speed. And Johnny V getting on the horse the first time. I think was the deal that sold me on that horse. So those are the two horses that I like the most. The number 10, or sorry, the number 8, Blesser, 8-1, ridden by Johnny V. And the second horse is the number 1, Resplendent Speed Horse, Loney. The rail loves the rail. There's only 2 who have won at this distance. One of them is the 1, and one of them is the 8. So, or the horse that like the distance, the 1 and the 8 have won at the race. So that's one of the 5, Scratch It, being ridden by Irad Ortiz, who apparently was off his mounts again today, I believe, because he was one that's kind of dressed up and still sore off his mounts yesterday and today. I'm sorry, yesterday and today was off his mounts at Gulfstream Park, rest up, as agent said, so he could be ready to ride at Turfway tomorrow. So he's on the 5. That's the number. That's
I'm still here, Fred. I'm still here.
Okay, Scratch It with the Irad Ortiz getting on board first time and taking over for Kazushi Kimura. Interesting stat to notice: Michael McCarthy and Kazushi Kimura are hooking up in every race that Michael McCarthy has. In this race, Michael McCarthy has the number 1 prime power, which is the number 10, LaVille Lomira. Number 1 prime power with Kazushi Kimura once again riding for Michael McCarthy. Michael McCarthy has 5 horses on this card, and they're all being ridden by Kazushi Kimura. I think that there's got to be something said about that, especially in this race, because the 10 horse, 4-1. This horse, this race has value all over the place written on it, John. 4-1 is the morning line favorite.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you get by, the 1 horse, and there's no clear cut favorite, which the favorite is what? The 5 is the morning line favorite? Is that? I didn't get the morning line odds. Is he the favorite? The 5?
No. Yes, he is. Yes, 5 and 10 are close. 5.
All right. I would think the 1 horse, the Lone Speed, 2 wins from the rail, Turfway, Lone Speed has done this trip twice already, and Palo Lobo. Last time, we were at Parks around the Pennsylvania Derby. Palo Lobo was there talking with John Sheriffs right next to us. We're watching the workouts. And, when I see Paolo's name, I just thought about John, standing right there on the rail next to us at Parks. And, it's a shame, John had to leave us so soon. But, Palo Lobo's got a good one here, and hopefully can, continue and carry it on. So I guess Fred is going to log back on. He must have got bumped. Still, he hasn't checked on that internet at his house yet. I don't know what his issue is there, but we'll wait for Fred to get back on. And tomorrow's show is 12:30. I'll let everybody know. We'll cover the late pick 5 at the fairgrounds. They got the 2 big races there. And then also, I just saw a interesting Bayou Bluegrass pick 5 that includes these 2 races we're covering now, with the 2 big races at fairgrounds and the New Orleans handicap, which was won last year by Touch Upon a Star when he beat 1-9 shot Sierra Leone last year. So we'll see if he can duplicate and rebound. But for a Louisiana bred, 20 for 27 lifetime, 1.7 million in earnings, the best Louisiana bred we ever saw. So internet out. Fred just texted. His internet just went out. He'll be right back on. So he's definitely got to get that fixed. But right now, let's just look through some of the field here in the 11th race. Like I said, the one with Palo Lobo would be, my top pick with the Lone Speed. The more I look through the field, there's not enough, speed to go with this horse. This horse should control stuff on the front end. But if you want a closer, somebody could sit off the pace would be the Irad Ortiz and Brad Cox, the favorite, the 5. Fred made a good point with the 8 with Johnny Velasquez picking up for, Grand Motion there. Other than that, not not seeing too much in here. My quick look. So I would lean on the 1, the 5, and Fred's 8 possibly at this point. Only about the 7 looks like he can maybe push on and get out there a little bit with the 1 horse. So I guess we'll give it a minute till Fred comes back on, but we'll switch over real quick to the Jeff Ruby Stakes, the 12th race here, and a full field, and which makes it very interesting, good betting race. No clear cut favorite again. When we get to Fairgrounds tomorrow, the Louisiana Derby, looks like 2 favorites that are going to take most of the action. Here doesn't look like there's any clear cut big favorite that you're going to lean on. Freddie is back. Let's add him to the stage.
Thanks, John.
There's Fred. All right. I'm just trying to fill some time here, Fred. We just finished up with the BRISnet Oaks. And like I said, I like the 1 with your 8 and probably the 5 who might get a good trip. And I was also commenting about, Paolo Lobo brings the 1. And the last time that I saw Paolo was at Parks. And we were at the rail during the workouts. And he was standing there with John Sheriffs during the when he brought Baeza in. So John Sheriffs, Paolo Lobo standing there. That's what I could just picture. Such a shame about John leaving us so soon. But, Paolo's got a good one here, and he can control the pace from the rail. The jockey knows him, 2 for 2 on him. So that would be my pick there. Fred liked the 8, as we discussed, and we both liked the 1 in there as well. So we were all about the 1, 8, and the Brad
10.
Cox favorite. 1, 8, 5, and the 10.
The 10.
The 10, that's a bomb, right? What was his odds?
The 10 is no, he's 4 to 1. 8 is the highest. 8 to 1 is the 8 the highest. The 10 is written by Kazushi Kimura, one of Michael McCarthy's, like I was saying before my internet went out. Has 5. Michael McCarthy has 5 horses on this card, all being written by Kazushi Kimura, who typically rides at Santa Anita. Am I correct?
Yeah, that horse is 4 to 1, 5 to 1 morning line. The 10?
Yes, sir.
Oh my God! I
4 to 1.
I can't use them at those odds. I mean, I had them. My odds were like 15 or 20 to 1. So
Really?
at 4 to 1, I want no parts of that horse at them low odds. So wow,
Well,
I'm 1 with the 5-8. You are 8 with the 1.
Okay. So
Let's move on.
The next race, the 12th race at Turfway Park. This is the Derby prep race, which is 100 points to the winner. It is a 1.8 miles on the synthetic as well. Last year's winner was a horse I really liked a lot. Final Gambit won that race and actually ran a nice race in the Derby. Came in 4th, just had a little traffic trouble. By the time got out of traffic and made a run, just could not get to the front and finished a nice 4th at I think 22, 23 to 1. So let's see what we get out of this race. Again, can't get away from the favorite in this race, the number 2, Full Effort, being ridden by Irad Ortiz, ridden by Brad Cox. No horse has yet to win at this distance, so you got to look at which horses have the breeding for the distance and breeding for synthetic. The 2's got probably the best of both. Again, Brad Cox knows how to get a horse ready on synthetic. 31%. He learns how to train. This horse always gives a good race. Never runs a bad race. Irad Ortiz won the last time he won by 5 lengths on turf at 1.16 miles. So I don't think the distance is going to be a problem. 1.8 miles is a little bit long. None of the horses have, like I said, have run at this distance. So it's just a matter of which horse you think can get it. The other horse I like a lot, and I think this horse was talked about by other horse racing handicappers as well, is number 8, Chaos Agent. This horse, Joel Rosario, is getting aboard. Ford trainer Josie Carroll has the highest last race speed rating. Only second time out. Won as a maiden last time, but broke maiden impressively. And a nice, kind of not in the front, but a nice pace ride where he wasn't front, and closed very strong to win. Now again, Joel Rosario on for the trainer, Josie Carroll. I think that horse has a big chance. Everybody's going to like again. I don't know, John, if you looked what your morning line was on this horse, but the number number 11, Stark Contrast is number 1, Prime Power, also being ridden by Kazushi.
I think you froze up again, Fred. Yeah, so the more I'm looking at here, that Star Contrast, the 11 horse, Michael McCarthy. Um, when I just looked down and saw that he just missed against Gastad in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile when I was there at Del Mar, and Gastad was, one of the most impressive of the whole entire weekend. And this horse just missed 3/4 of a length at 60 to 1 odds. Then I hate to take him, first time back after the Breeders' Cup, and this horse, came back, ran a beautiful race, 1 to 5, 5 horse field, not much there, turf horse. Now you're going for the synthetic here, but just the company lines he held. The only 2 horses to beat him were Gastad and Butane. So between them two, you got some good company, and there's nobody in this field here. Gustad would be 1 to 9 in this field. Um, Butane would be 3 to 5 here. So looking at this, top to bottom, and he should get a good trip. Whether he could take to the synthetic, that's the whole thing. Does he, you know, can he can he do the synthetic? Coming from the turf. Michael McCarthy shipping him here from the West Coast for a reason. Get a little lucky, get a win, and next thing you know, they're trying dirt for the first time and going into the Kentucky Derby. So that would be an interesting path to see from all these turf races to synthetic, qualifying for the Derby, going to the Derby on dirt for the first time. So that's going to be a tall task overall for that horse. But probably on the synthetic here with his prompt style, closing, doesn't need the lead. Probably be my pick. Fred said it was the morning line favorite. I'm doing this without morning line favorites. Like you said, the 2 horse Irad Ortiz and Brad Cox coming from a little further back. So if the 11 takes to the synthetic, he'll get the jump on the 2, who last 2 times he hung a little bit. He looked like he was going to win both of them races, and he just never got there. So maybe something similar here. Another horse. Let's see here. Kevin Attard shipping down from Woodbine.
No, it's I'm not. I don't think I'm going to call this happy hour anymore if this keeps happening. It only happens during happy hour. So
Well, you need a new internet provider. You need a better internet service. You need a higher Wi-Fi. You need something.
I can't have this happen. I swear to God, it only happens during my happy hour. Don't know why. Other
All right.
broadcasts,
We'll call this the non-happy hour. Fred's non-happy hour.
I'll figure it out. Anyway, we're talking about Turfway Park Race 12. Again, as discussed, 100 points to the winner. John, let me ask you a question. This has nothing to do with this particular race, but what do owners, and you're an owner, and trainers feel like if a horse is like almost already assured a spot in the Derby and they're running in a race like this, will they put the horse on full tilt to go all out, or will they kind of just try to get a ride out of the horse?
Well, if they got enough points that they think they're going to make the Derby, they're just using this as a prep race, and they're going to tell all the connections, the jockey, not to persevere with the horse, just get something out of it. But they're not. This is not the ultimate goal. A lot of these horses here, I don't know the point standings with everybody in this race, but they're all fighting for points to get in the Derby. And when you were out, like I said, stark contrast coming from the turf in California, shipping him here to the synthetic. If he does get lucky and win, now he's in the Kentucky Derby on the dirt, for the second time ever. First time was horrible. But the only 2 horses to beat him were Butane and Gastad. So his company is, amazing compared to this field. So just how he takes to the synthetic is the question.
Well, the other, like I mentioned before, my number 1 horse is the 2 full effort. Again, Brad Cox, Irad Ortiz. I like Cass Agent, and then Stark Contrast. But again, how do you think that post is a real detriment for the 11?
No, he ran in a 14 horse Breeders' Cup 1 mile on the Del Mar turf course from the 8 hole. So no, I think he can get out of there and get some position, even if he sits, sixth or seventh. He should be able to get the jump on the 2 horse. The 2 is going to be a little further back. So if he gets ahead of the 2 and they find position, I like his chances to outkick the 2 to the wire because he's going to get jump on him.
I don't disagree with that at all. I think you're right about that. So that's basically our thoughts on those races tomorrow. We'll be back at 12:30. It's not the happy hour, John, so I think tomorrow my internet should be fine. Never had a problem on a Saturday. So hopefully hope I didn't jinx myself by saying that I've never had a problem on a Saturday. But we'll be back to 12:30 tomorrow. We're going to talk also. We'll kind of look at scratches that may have an impact on these fields, obviously at Turfway Park. We're also going to talk about what's it called, John? The Bourbon Pick 5?
What is it? The Bourbon Bayou. The Bayou Bluegrass. So the Bayou is Louisiana Fairgrounds, and the Bluegrass is Turfway in Kentucky. So they come up with the Bayou Bluegrass Pick 5, which is really interesting.
What races is that going to be?
It's going to start out with the New Orleans Handicap, which when you were off earlier, I said I touched on. Touch Upon a Star is the favorite in that race. He won it last year. He upset 1-9 shot Sierra Leone in the process. He's a Louisiana bred. He's 20 for 27, $1.7 million. The best, Louisiana bred of all time. And, he's a favorite tomorrow against a very fun, interesting field. That's where it kicks off. Then it shifts over here to the races we just covered, the Oaks, goes back to Fairgrounds for their Oaks. Then it comes back here to the Jeff Ruby, and then it finishes with the Fairgrounds, the Louisiana Derby. So you got the 4 major preps and the New Orleans Handicap covered in that Pick 5, which is really a fun sequence.
Is it $1 Pick 5, 50-cent Pick 5?
I got to look that up, but I know the New Orleans one, the Louisiana Fairgrounds, I think that's $1 at the end of the card. So we got to be careful when we're putting out tickets. Just double check to see if that's a 50-cent or $1 minimum.
Yeah, before we do, we'll check that. I think the Pick 5 that starts in race 10 at Fairgrounds. I think it's a 50-cent.
Okay, let's hope it is. Yeah, I'm hoping. Maybe the Bayou.
I'm 90%
maybe the Bayou Bluegrass might be $1, which I love that dollar sequence, but it's tough to there's so many wide open races that you want to spread.
That's interesting. That you take a stand with a horse you like, and if it comes through, you could hit some big bucks. We'll talk about that more tomorrow at 12:30. Once again, John and I will be together. Hopefully, John, your flight gets off safe tonight, and you get back into your hotel. Where are you staying in Vegas?
The Cosmopolitan. First time I'm staying there. We stayed at Bellagio the last number of years. Now this year we're going to give the Cosmo a try.
Give the Cosmo a try, both in terms of where we're staying and drink?
No, we drink everywhere. Anywhere they serve alcohol, we drink. So it's not confined to the Cosmo. So hopefully my plane gets in by the time the podcast starts tomorrow. That's what we're hoping for.
Tomorrow it's be 9:30 your time in Vegas, I guess, 12:30 here. Right? Well, John, good luck. Once again, I want to thank people and apologize for the whole. John, thank you for taking over and keeping it going until I got back on. I am going to look into it. I thought it was my internet. We upgrade our internet as far as the Wi-Fi goes. I just have to look and see what other options there are for us to not get cut off. So, on that note, John, do you have any last words to say before we say goodbye?
Nope. I'll see hopefully everybody tomorrow from Las Vegas.
Hope to see you tomorrow. Remember, bet smart, cheer hard, fast horses can equal some serious fun. And when it's all said and done, just let them run, folks. Let them run.
Let them run. All right. See you guys.
Be safe, party.